Hey, Phil. Hey, Phil. Phil.
Hey, Tim.
Hey.
What's happening, bud?
Not much. You're sounding great. Clear, clean.
You do too. You sound very well rested for having a young son.
Yeah, I've been getting good sleep. This baby just sleeps pretty much most of the night, and when he's waking up, I just keep sleeping. So
that's awesome.
That's bound to change. I know that, but right now it's been pretty good. So how can I help you, Phil? Now, Phil, I noticed you had a story. I saw you on Twitter. You said you've got some story for us.
I do have a story. Only if you want to hear it. I was kind of.
I think I just gave the lane to you.
You did. Just want to be sure that the lane is open. It's a pretty funny story, pretty embarrassing story.
Right?
Right, correct. Do my best to do that. So my
story time.
Yeah, this is my story about the old days when there was a Blockbuster video and you used to go out and rent movies and so forth. And Halloween time is coming up, as you know, and Halloween is one of my favorite movies for Halloween. So I had decided that I was going to rent this movie one night. Went to the Blockbuster video and walked into the aisle where the Blockbuster keeps their horror movies and so forth. And there was a couple standing nearby, and they were contemplating renting this Halloween movie. And I'm like, oh, shit. You know, they're going to rent it.
That's the only copy they had?
Well, yes, because Blockbuster only had, one copy of every movie. So somebody took.
Have a whole wall of, Patriot games or something like that.
Well, this isn't the Rob Zombie version. This is the 1978 version, the original.
So there's one copy there. It's got the empty box, but behind the empty box is the Blockbuster container featuring the actual VHS. Let's just visualize that, right?
That's correct. So there's two couples, man, woman, and another couple, and they're like, oh, what do we get? What do we get? And some girl says, well, let's get Halloween.
Uh-oh.
So that disappoints me. So I'm all right. I'm going to hang back here. Let's see what they do. And they're arguing about it back and forth a little bit, and then they finally can't decide, so they walk away from the movie. So that's my opportunity to move in and grab it. So I go grab it. And as I turn, I kind of put the movie in front because I didn't want the movie. For some strange reason, I just decided I had to do that. I don't know why. And as I do it and turn around, I hear behind me, oh my God, somebody's taking the movie. So now normally, the normal person would just say, oh, hey, sorry, I just want to rent this movie.
Well, they'd moved away from that they've moved away from that choice, no?
Yes, but I'm just saying, for some reason, I decided to hide the fact that I had the movie.
You mean you put it like up your shirt?
No, just kind of put it in front of me, but turned my back to the people and walked away in the opposite direction.
What's their business with you now? I don't understand what their business would be with you at this point.
Well, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
So I just decided I'm going to keep walking. And I pick up my pace a little bit and keep walking and decide, well, I didn't go directly to the checkout. I decided to ditch the movie behind another movie, act like I'm going to peruse around the store a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, a minute goes by, and then one of the girls comes up and says, excuse me, did you just take the Halloween movie from the aisle? And again, I can't explain why, but I just decided to refuse to admit that I did. And I said, no, I did not. So she looks at me kind of funny. It's like, okay, walks away, goes back to her group. And I continue to browse around. So now we're in this cat and mouse game of, well, did he take it or did he not take it? And she comes back a second time and she says, look, just tell me if you took it and hid it somewhere in the store, because I didn't have it on me.
This is the woman that thought about renting it, but then moved on.
Correct. And so she's confronting me about it pretty hardcore now. And she's like, just tell me if you did. No, I absolutely did not.
How old are you at this point, by the way?
Too old to be doing this, but I was probably in my early 20s, I think. I was probably like 20, 21, something like that. and just decided at this point, I'm just going to hold my ground and not admit to anything. And so she goes back, and you can see her. I can out of the corner of my eye see her discussing with her friends, and they're all confused.
Okay.
So I can't go back and get it and then go rent it, because at this point they're kind of watching me, and I'm kind of moving around the store a little bit, hoping they'll give up and then they'll leave, but they don't leave.
Jeez.
And I'm not leaving. So eventually, just to get to the cut to the chase, I just end up walking out of the Blockbuster and don't rent anything, and I leave the movie hidden away forever.
Yeah. Oh man, Phil, did you go to Hollywood Video?
Well, I definitely own one now, because I didn't want that to happen again. So I do own it now, but no, I just never didn't rent the movie that night.
Let me tell you something. People are going to give you. I know people are going to give you shit on the message board here about this story. I love that story. It was real. It was specific. It didn't have a good ending, because life doesn't always provide you with good endings. It wasn't manufactured. It was from the heart. I felt the tension in your this sort of this real life nightmare. I mean, it's got bedtime stories plot written all over it, doesn't it?
It does, and believe me, I was the adrenaline was really flowing there, and the continuous accusations and confrontations in the store.
And fuck her, of course, for giving you that energy. It's like she moved on. She had an opportunity to rent Halloween, and she didn't. So what a strange world we lived in for a while, where there was that now, of course, you can just it's so easy to get everything. But there was a lot of tension that went into, I got to go. I want to see this movie. I have a little very quick story about Blockbuster. Hopefully I don't think it doesn't rise to the level of your story. But I remember in my late high school years, really getting into film and really wanting to know more about these movies, classic movies and stuff, and especially the 70s and Scorsese and Coppola and all this stuff. And my dad knew about all that stuff, because he was alive when those movies were coming out. So he's like, oh, you got to see Apocalypse Now. You got to see Apocalypse Now, right? I'm like, yeah, I got to see Apocalypse Now. I got to see Apocalypse Now. Go to the Blockbuster, and they don't have a copy. The guy working there's never heard of the damn movie. How do you like that? And we were just kind of like, what? You never heard of Apocalypse Now? And you're working.
They didn't vet their employees very well. Yeah.
He made us seem like it didn't. He made my dad feel like it didn't exist. Like there's no movie called Apocalypse Now. He was so sure of it. This guy working there. There's no movie called Apocalypse Now. Trust me. Get out of my store.
Well, it's like you said. His competition was fierce in there. So, if you didn't get what you want, you were just out of luck.
Yeah. All right, Phil, I'm going to take off, and all the best to you. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Tim. See you.
All right. I like that story, and because it feels so very nostalgic to me.
Sorry, Phil,
Michael.